What's up YouTube, Fallout Freak here, and I'm back with another locations video. So we did a Fallout 3 location in my last locations video, so we have gone full circle once again, and we are going to be talking about a Fallout 4 location today. And this location, I am actually surprised I have not done a location video to this one yet, but we're going to do a location video to it now. And that location in Fallout 4 is none other than Goodneighbor. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Goodneighbor. Goodneighbor, known as Scollay Square before the Great War, is a major settlement in the financial district of Boston in 2287. It is led by a mayor, John Hancock, and inhabited by ghouls, criminals, and other people who do not fit in elsewhere in the Commonwealth. Background: Goodneighbor was founded in 2240 by criminals who were exiled from Diamond City. Since then, Goodneighbor has become a refuge for the unwanted of the Commonwealth, a place with no social class or bigotry, and where everyone is equal. Following the election of Mayor McDonough in Diamond City in 2282, his exile of the settlement's ghoul population forced many of them to flee to Goodneighbor for safety. McDonough's brother John chose to self-exile himself to Goodneighbor along with the ghouls in disgust of his brother's actions. He was familiar with Goodneighbor due to his chem deals, and he even helped bring a few of the ghoul families to the town. However, most were unable to adapt to Goodneighbor's rough lifestyle and disappeared within a few weeks for one reason or another. At that time, the town was ruled by a criminal named Vic, who acted as a petty despot. John McDonough, having reached a particular low point in his life after seeing Vic murder a random drifter in front of him, ghoulified himself with an experimental drug. After going on a bender, he woke up in the old state house in front of the clothes of American revolutionary John Hancock. As he says, the clothes spoke to him, so he busted the display, took the outfit, and adopted the persona of John Hancock. He then temporarily went clean, organized a militia, and procured weapons from Cleo. Together, they managed to overthrow and execute Vic by hanging him from the old state house's balcony. In front of the masses of Goodneighbor on the balcony, Hancock proclaimed the words of the people for the people. Afterwards, Hancock assumed the role of mayor and took charge of Goodneighbor, trying to make the rough town into one of neighborly appreciation, embodying the words he spoke on the balcony. The town has become the home of many drifters from the wastes. However, Goodneighbor is also a hub of crime, one of the reasons for the establishment of a security team called the Neighborhood Watch under Hancock's rule to maintain order and defend the town from raiders and rival organizations such as the Triggermen and the Institute, among others. Nevertheless, even with vigilantism encouraged and the presence of the Neighborhood Watch, criminal activity is commonplace in Goodneighbor, including murder, extortion, and chem peddling. Despite Hancock's reforms, Goodneighbor still holds a reputation as a rough and dangerous location by most in the Commonwealth and is home to an active organized criminal element in the Triggermen. Layout: Goodneighbor consists of several connected streets, with most of its locations set up in existing buildings, as opposed to the shacks primarily used in Diamond City. There are two shops near the entrance, Kill or Be Killed, run by Cleo, who sells weapons, and Daisy's Discounts, owned by Daisy, who sells the general items. The third rail is the town bar, built out of the old Scollay Square station and tended by Whitechapel Charlie. Let's see, inhabitants, residents, generic. Here we go. Notes: the Triggermen of Goodneighbor dress and act like pre-war mobsters. People in Diamond City say they come from the pressed suit and Tommy Gun school of thuggery, and in Goodneighbor, two things count: style and body count. Goodneighbor residents are vehemently opposed to the Institute and their synths and show contempt toward the denizens of Diamond City, especially Mayor McDonough, for exiling the ghoul population in the past. Goodneighbor can also be accessed from the collapsed section of the fallen sky bridge by simply jumping down into the city, which forces a loading screen. Entry can also be achieved by using the Jetpack Power Armor mod to jump over the main gate. Goodneighbor can be exited through the back of the alley behind Hotel Rexford by climbing to the highest vertical point of the power box and jumping across the trash bins and over the steel wall. 3 triggermen and the corpse of a drifter can be found in the above mentioned alley. The former will attack upon being approached. There are 3 novice locked doors marked Warehouse in Goodneighbor. Whitechapel Charlie in the 3rd rail offers a quest after borrowing his wares to clear these buildings of the triggermen inside. As long as one sneaks into these buildings, nobody in Goodneighbor will attack upon leaving. If the sole survivor brings Piper to Goodneighbor, the neighborhood watch will comment she is the dame that writes public occurrences, right? Good stuff. I always did appreciate good investigative journalism. If the sole survivor brings Deacon to Goodneighbor, he will change his outfit to appear similar to the mobsters around him. If one enters Goodneighbor before joining the railroad, Deacon can be found wandering around near Kill or Be Killed. Raising affinity with Hancock will eventually get him to mention that Goodneighbor was previously run by a criminal called Vic and his gang, who freely and cruelly exploited the drifters, including Hancock, for their own work. After a particular case of violence caused the death of the drifter, Hancock got drunk, found the clothes of the historical John Hancock, got inspired, and then led a militia to attack and destroy Vic and his gang overnight, after which he then became the current mayor of Goodneighbor. If the sole survivor steals the Fat Man mini nuke and ammunition in Cleo's shop undetected, the items will respawn after waiting a few days, allowing the items to be obtained multiple times. So that is a little bit about Goodneighbor. Let me go ahead and play you a quote mentioned by John Hancock. So hopefully my internet cooperates with me if I can turn this volume up. Okay, let's see if my internet cooperates with me. Here we go.
Good neighbors of the people, for the people.
You feel me? Everyone's welcome. So that's pretty much what he says. Now let me go ahead and pull you up a picture of what Goodneighbor looks like, and it doesn't look like my internet is cooperating with me. So,
feel me? Everyone's welcome.
There's the end of the quote. So, yeah, my internet's not cooperating with me here, so I am going to finish this video up. Hit me up in the comment section below and let me know what you think about Goodneighbor and what some of your favorite locations in Fall 4 of the Commonwealth Wasteland are. Mine is definitely Diamond City. Goodneighbor is also one of them, so I'm glad that I could finally get around to doing a video on Goodneighbor. But until my next locations video, you must always remember that war never changes.